Here's how to progress past the basic pull-up. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to keep building muscle once you're already doing 15 or more perfect pull-ups and it's easy for you. And this is how to progressively overload. First of all is that unlike push-ups, there's no real problem doing a lot of bodyweight pull-ups and just spamming pull-ups, because like unless you're like a freak athlete or whatever, it's going to be hard to get above 30 pull-ups or whatever. So you're still going to be building like a good amount of muscle just from doing like under like 30 reps. But if you do want to progress past, there's 3 different paths that you could go to. Path number 1 is the boring path of doing your weighted pull-ups. You get your backpack or you get your dip belt or whatever, and then you put a bunch of these inside. That's option number 1. Now this works pretty well because it's good for simplicity and it gives you that sense of progressive overload that you got in the gym, where it's just like a kind of simple approach. Just keep adding the weight, keep making your backpack heavier and heavier, stay within that 8 to 12 rep range, and just keep building muscle that way. Path number 2 out of 3 is progressing to the 1-arm pull-up. So this is like path 2A or whatever, and this is if you have resistance bands. So if you have resistance bands, listen to what I'm about to say. If you don't, I'm going to have part 2B, which is how to progress to the 1-arm pull-up without resistance bands. So path 2A is progressing to the 1-arm pull-up with resistance bands. So this is, again, pretty simple. It's like the gym progression of using resistance bands as like weight plates pretty much. So you start with the thickest band, right? So I'll go one right here, just to explain. I'll go this resistance band right here, and it's pretty like worn out, as you can see, but it's fine. Here it says 120 to 180 pounds of resistance. So this basically means that it's helping me like lift up this amount of weight. Ignore this. It never does this. It always lifts up like the lowest amount of weight, like whatever the weakest amount is. That's how much it helps you out. So that's how much resistance it's giving you once you've like fully stretched it. So that's 120 pounds of resistance. So if you weigh like I think 55 kilos, like you're basically doing pull-ups with not that much effort. And then I have like a thinner resistance band here. What does this say? I think I rubbed off the marking on this, but this one was about 30 to 70 pounds. This resistance band like only helps you out 30 pounds. So once you've gone to the green band, you move on to this one, and then there's another band actually which only helps you out. There's a yellow band that I have. It only helps you out 5 to 15 pounds of resistance. So over time, you're lifting more and more of your body weight until you progress to the 1-arm pull-up. And then once you can do 6 to 8 reps with the thinnest band that only helps you out like 5 to 15 pounds, like 3 or 5 kilos, then you move on to just doing your regular 1-arm pull-ups, and you've got it. The second path of getting a 1-arm pull-up, so path 3 in total, is... Oh, by the way, I can't actually do a 1-arm pull-up, but I progressed pretty far with like these progressions to getting like 1-arm pull-ups where I'm just like holding like my arm like over here. I don't know if you can see, but like I'm holding like my upper arm to get to the 1-arm pull-up. The way you do this is you want to slowly put the weight onto one arm. So the first, you want to slowly move the leverages. So it's like kind of like archer push-ups, where you move one arm further and further and further and further out until most of the weight is just on this arm. So the first way you do this is archer pull-ups. This is where you move your arms wider to one side while doing the pull-up. And I'm going to pull up a video of a very jacked guy doing this movement so you know how it works out. After you can do like 10-15 archer pull-ups on each side, which is like very tough, you want to do a 1-arm pull-up where your left hand, if you're right-handed, your left hand is on like your right wrist here, and you're doing like the pull-ups like that. And then eventually you want to keep moving down and down and down and down and down the arm until like eventually it's on your upper arm. You want to keep moving your hand further and further down, and when you can do multiple reps of a 1-arm pull-up, when your off hand is on your elbow or further down, you can do a 1-arm pull-up. Like try to get 9 to 10 reps, like when your arm is like all the way down here, and then you can do a 1-arm pull-up. Thanks for watching. Those are my tips.